Yo, what's going on, Kings fans? And we have another Sactown Breakdown podcast for you guys. I'm just going solo today. Skip and Tosh, aka Skip, he is on a little mini vacation, and he needs the vacation. Don't blame him. So, going solo today. He held down the fort for me a couple weeks ago when I was gone, and I'm doing the same for him. So here we go, episode 5 of the podcast, I believe. How's everybody doing? We got a good show. It's not going to be too long. Just a couple of stories here and there. Obviously, we're in the dead of the season. It's dead right now. Everything's dead. New stories for basketball, NBA 2K, everything is dead. So we're scraping the bottom of the barrel, but I do have some stuff to talk about today. Before we get into that, though, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys where we can be found: YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, Twitch, and Twitter. All of those are in the description of the YouTube videos, so make sure you go ahead and go to the description and follow all those. Normally we live stream the podcast on Twitch, but today, since it's me, and I'm not quite there yet, but I'm going to have to be in like 2 months because, I'm going to be breaking down every game. Me and Skip are, and I got to be able to do this live stream nonsense when he ain't around. But I don't have time for that, and actually I have a new camera I'm going to be using, so I figure I might as well not, I'm not going to get too technical because it's ridiculous, and you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Not that you're all stupid. Essentially what I'm trying to say is here, I'm going to be able to live stream by myself. I'm not completely pathetic, but I haven't gotten to that yet. So hold your horses. You can find us all on those websites. Click the links in the description. And I want to shout out some new subscribers to the channel just because, it's a nice thing to do. Let me go ahead and grab my phone here, and because one of these names the first name is going to be hard to pronounce. So Otis Vladislaus, actually it's not that bad. Otis Vladislaus, King Clint, The Conway Kid, Orange Crush 916, Arabin Gonzalez, Lorenzo Reynolds, and Leak First World. New subscribers to the Sactown Breakdown. Thank you guys so much for following. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. And help support us. Continue to support us. Continue to follow us and help the channel grow. Thank you guys so much for all your support. And let's finally get into the podcast. So I really have 3 stories for you guys today. The first one, Marvin Bagley pulls out of Team USA Select. Essentially, he played a week with the Team USA team, and he had another week to go, and they said that he was in contention for a front court spot on Team USA. Then he pulled out, and there's been some Kings fans that think like, oh, it seems like it's a problem, or they kind of have an issue, like they're kind of like, why would you pull out of that? Why would you do that? It makes you look bad. It makes you look like a quitter. It makes you look, people have had issues with that, and they've been expressing them on Twitter, much like everybody does, express their issues on Twitter 24/7, like I care to see half of them. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So he had a shot to be on Team USA. And, it is kind of like, okay, why would you give that up? But he said he was focusing on the upcoming season, and that's what he wanted to do. Now, there's been plenty of people that have expressed the issue of him having injury troubles in the past, and they kind of feel like it's better that he doesn't play because they're afraid he's going to get injured. Now, I don't necessarily think Marvin Bagley is going to he's not made of tissue paper, but I definitely, I see that, and I am kind of relieved he's not playing. I'm still scared for DeAaron Fox. I think I have a little more faith in them not getting injured than most people. But still, it's like a problem, and people... So anyways, point being is, what do I think about Marvin Bagley leaving the team? Well, I saw a hypothesis or philosophy, or however you want to say it. Someone said on Twitter they feel like he probably, out of respect, because he's been playing so well for Team USA Select, out of respect, Select... Look at that. I mean, I could come up with a rap album in 5 seconds if I wanted to. But essentially they're saying out of respect for how good he played that they invited him to another week to play with the Team USA team. But they said that this was just all speculation, that Marvin Bagley may have seen the writing on the wall and knew that he wasn't going to make the team, and he felt Select maybe wasn't worth his time, which is kind of still doesn't make him look the best. go, that's not worth my time. I'm not going to do that. He's a second-year player. But I mean, to be honest, I get that. Like if that's the reasoning, then hey, you know what? I don't blame him for it. He wants to take a little rest, rest his legs before the season starts. That doesn't bother me one bit, and I totally it doesn't bother me. Some people are like all up in arms. I don't really care. If he didn't want to play, then whatever. It is what it is. Now, if you guys have different opinions, of course, leave them in the comments. Tweet me, email us. That's another thing. Email us, leave comments, leave reviews on the Apple iTunes podcast, by the way. But that's I'm just saying. Ooh, hit the mic. My bad. I'm just saying review our podcast because I want you to say, oh, they have 5 stars. They're great. But beyond that, leave comments and email us. Give us questions because we definitely want to do at some point like a viewer mailbag where we're answering questions. And I don't think since I've brought this up like 2 podcasts ago, I don't think anyone's actually asked us a legitimate question. So yeah, I mean, one guy asked us a question about where we think the Kings will end up in the West, and I made a video on that. But I want more of that kind of stuff. Ask me what color DeAaron Fox's underwear is going to be tomorrow, and I'll make a video speculating on that. Or whatever. Whatever you want to ask me, Kings related, ask it, and we'll answer it in a viewer mailbag, viewer mailbag, whatever you want to call it in the future. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that. But yeah, if you guys have different opinions on the Marvin Bagley thing, let me know. For me, it doesn't bother me one bit. If he wants to take a break, who am I to tell him no? That's kind of how I feel about that. So, moving on to our second topic, we are going to talk about, and I'm trying to figure out which one I want to talk about first, because we'll go with this one first, because it's kind of, it goes along with the Team USA theme. Kyle Lowry? I always want to say Kyle Lowry, like that's just, Lowry seems like it's out of the way to say. Kyle Lowry pulls out of Team USA with a hurt thumb. Must have been shoving those Joey Donuts down his mouth too quick. Okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't make fat jokes, but it's just like the easy thing to do. It's and he's not even fat, but I don't know. I got to be a jerk. I can't be nice. Anyways, he pulls out. I could have said, wow, Kyle Lowry pulled out. He has a hurt thumb. He must have been playing too much video games. I couldn't go there. I couldn't say, oh, he was playing too many video games. That's why he's not playing Team USA. He hurt his thumb gaming. I couldn't go there. I had to go with a fat joke. I'm very unoriginal. And then by the time I come up with an original joke, it's too late. But anyways, here we go. Kyle Lowry pulls out. And why is that important? Well, he pulled out of the World Cup. Don't get any ideas. And this almost guarantees DeAaron Fox getting a spot on Team USA, because if you look at the guards, it's kind of a thin group of guards. It's not really like they got, and that was not another fat joke, but there's not many guards. Like Kyle Lowry not being there. Let's go through the team. So Brook Lopez, here are the players that are left: Harrison Barnes and DeAaron Fox, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, who also has an injury, Jason Tatum, Kemba Walker, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, Joe Harris, Kyle Kuzma, Donovan Mitchell, Mason Plumlee, PJ Tucker, Miles Turner, and Derek White. So the only 3 guards on the team are Derek White, DeAaron Fox, and Kemba. And then I guess you could consider Marcus Smart a point guard or a shooting guard. And then Jaylen Brown's like a shooting guard-ish, small forward-ish player. But yeah, I mean, I say you cut, like me personally, and I'm not just saying this as a Laker fan, or oh my God, I was disgusting. A Laker hater, as a Kings fan who's a disliker of the Lakers. I wouldn't keep Kuzma. I just wouldn't. I'm not a big Kyle Kuzma guy. I think Harrison Barnes and DeAaron Fox are both locks. Look at that. Another rhyme. Fox locks. I mean, I told you guys I'd come up with an album if I wanted to. Jaylen Brown, I don't know about him. Marcus Smart, he might get cut just based off the fact that he's injured. And Kemba Walker obviously is like going to be your starting point guard probably. But then, like Joe Harris, he's a lights out 3-point shooter, but I don't know if he's really Team USA material. Just because he might be like the worst player on the team. I mean, besides Mason Plumlee and Derek, if it was me, it's going to be obviously probably. Here's the thing with Team USA. Mason Plumlee is not I mean, you got Mason Plumlee, Miles Turner, and Brook Lopez. That's kind of weak in terms of your centers. But I would probably like to keep Turner and Lopez. Sorry. Mason Plumlee. I would say Plumlee, White, and Kuzma get the boot, and Joe Harris stays. That might be controversial. But also, Marcus Smart is dealing with an injury, so who knows if he stays. Point being is, I don't think there's a situation where DeAaron doesn't make the roster. He's just like playing too good. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it's almost a lock that he makes Team USA now. And it's going to be really entertaining watching him ball on these people. And, with his I mean, I was watching a video of him dunking the other day. De'Aaron Fox, man, his dunks are so underrated. Like, if he went in three-point contests, he would or dunk contests. If he could dunk from the three-point line, that would definitely win both contests. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, De'Aaron Fox, man, his dunks, whew. I'm such a De'Aaron Fox fan. De'Aaron, if you ever watch the podcast or listen, tweet me and slide my DMs and send me hearts. And we can play one-on-one. I mean, I'd beat you, and I'd wear the swipe as while I'm beating you. Just to kind of clown you a little bit, but it'd just be out of love. I promise. But anyways, make a long story short, De'Aaron Fox should be a lock. Kyle Lowry drops out. And really, I mean, if you look at the guards, Kemba, De'Aaron Fox, and Marcus Smart, and Derek White. I mean, Derek White obviously is the worst one there. That's just what it is. Now, Derek White's probably actually a better defender than Kemba Walker, but Kemba's scoring is gonna way overrule Derek White's defense. So, and then I guess I'm counting Donovan Mitchell as a shooting guard, and then Marcus Smart as a shooting guard. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but De'Aaron Fox should make Team USA, and it'll be really entertaining. And Harrison Barnes is there too. You almost forget with those De'Aaron Fox talk. Harrison Barnes is like one of the main guys in Team USA this year. It's just something you forget about. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting Team USA this year. Obviously, it's not for a gold medal, but nonetheless, it's going to be entertaining watching them beat up on all these scrub teams overseas. It's going to be highly enjoyable as long as nobody gets hurt. Knock on wood. And we'll see what happens. So, our final, and this is going to be a little bit of a rant by me. I've kind of been ranting this whole video and going on and speaking a bunch of nonsense. But I like to be an idiot. I don't like to be normal. That'd be boring. 2019-2020 schedule. Kings got screwed again. The Kings yet again get a crappy schedule. Not only do they get a bad schedule in terms of, if you look at I'm going to go through the actual individual games and tell you guys what I think about the actual layout of the schedule itself. But not only is their schedule have some hardcore ref patches, they get one televised game. Now, every Kings fan has been freaking out about this and yelling and screaming on social media. And I'm not saying I'm mad. I don't blame them. And so it's not I feel like I'm not going to say anything here that you guys don't already know. But it's definitely frustrating that the Hornets have a game on TNT, the Grizzlies have a game on TNT, and the Kings can't get one. You're looking at a team that has De'Aaron Fox, who's almost locked to be an all-star one day. I mean, the almost is just if he were to get injured. Buddy Hield put up damn near the same stats as Klay Thompson. And then Marvin Bagley was all-rookie first team last year. And those three guys can't get one game on TNT? Is that real? Are you serious? Why? Who did the Hornets have? A bunch of white guys. The Hornets can't stop signing white guys. That's all they do. They sign as many white guys as possible. It's ridiculous. And then the Grizzlies, they have John Morant. They have Jaren Jackson Jr. I get that. That's a very good team. Or, not very good team. It's a trash team. But it's a very good starting point for them to build and become maybe title contenders in 5 years. John Morant is going to be a beast. Jaren Jackson Jr., he's already a beast. So I totally get, maybe giving them one. Let's put it this way: if the Grizzlies have one game on TNT, the Kings should have at least 4. That's just how I see it. We have twice the amount of young talent they do. If they get one game, we should get three. If they get two games, we should get four. I don't know. I guess that math didn't really, those ratios didn't really make sense. But you get my point. We should have double whatever the Hornets and the Grizzlies have, maybe even combined. They both have one game on TNT. That's two. We should have four. There we go. That made sense. And I don't get it. Why does the NBA not respect the Kings? I mean, especially Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was on TNT last year talking about how the Kings are going to sneak into the 8th seed, and he predicted it. Obviously, it didn't happen. But the point being is, there was love being thrown the Kings' way from Charles Barkley on TNT, and they still can't give the Kings one. Like, think about this. There will not be, from the month of October till the month of April, say Kings going to the playoffs, that doesn't matter. From October to April, there will be hundreds of games on TNT. And there will not be one that's going to be broken down by Shaq, Ernie, Kenny, and Charles. There will not be a single game broken down by them four of the Kings. Why? And I know, it's not like, I really need to hear what Kenny Smith has to say. But the point being is, think about that. Think about how many times those four are going to be droning on about, LeBron and Anthony Davis pick and roll, it's unstoppable. And, I cannot believe the way Kawhi and Paul George defend. Think about how many games they're going to get to be on national TV. Really think about that. How many talking points, it's going to be the same talking points. Kawhi and PG are unstoppable. Oh, my God. I cannot believe how D'Angelo Russell is really taking over Klay Thompson's minutes, and he's really, it's like, how many times can they talk about the same stuff? Obviously, they're very enjoyable, to listen to. They're hilarious. But the point being is, you can't give them one fresh talking point. I mean, the whole time the Hornets are going to be on TV, they're just going to be making jokes about how trash they are. The same with the Grizzlies. Because that's what they do. They make jokes about people. You know what I mean? The whole time, it's just going to be a joke that they have to even cover that game. And the Kings are a team that are not a joke and should be taken very serious. They don't get one game. I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me. Something's got to change. Now, there's always a chance that throughout an NBA season, even the NFL has done this, where if a team's playing really well, I forget the term, there's a term they use, but essentially they'll take a game that wasn't going to be on TV and they'll put it on TV. Because if you have, who's two trash teams? Say you have the Buccaneers and the Titans playing, but all of a sudden the Jaguars are really good and they're playing the Green Bay Packers, and for whatever reason that game wasn't being televised, they would put that game in over the Buccaneers and the Titans or whatever. Name whatever trash teams versus teams that were supposed to be trash and actually good. Now I'm saying the Packers are trash, but you know what I mean. And it's like maybe they do get upgraded to a couple TNT games. We have one ESPN game. Do you think I want to hear Jalen Rose and Chauncey Billups talk about the Kings? And, Jalen Rose is all right. I like Jalen Rose. And he's about the only entertaining part of the whole ESPN crew, if we're being honest. But, I just don't care. And on the bright side, for local fans of the Kings, the NBC, California or Bay Area, wherever broadcasts the Kings, they have rights to ESPN games. They can also broadcast ESPN games. So all 82 games will be on NBC Sports California or whatever. So there won't be a game where you're blacked out. One year I was blacked out from the games on ESPN or whatever, and I couldn't watch it on either or on TNT. I literally could not watch the Kings game. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. I was throwing a fit. But yeah, we get screwed again. Now let's actually go over the team's schedule in terms of who they play. So I'm just gonna name it by chunks. Here's a quarter, the first quarter of the season. Suns, Trailblazers, Jazz, Nuggets, Hornets, Utah. I should say all names. Let me restart. Suns, Trailblazers, Jazz, Nuggets, Hornets, Jazz, Knicks, Raptors, Hawks, Trailblazers, Lakers, Celtics, Suns, Nets, Wizards, Celtics, Sixers, Nuggets, Chicago, Trailblazers, San Antonio Spurs, I almost said San Antonio, Texas, and Dallas Mavericks. So there are a lot of winnable games there. We could beat Phoenix. We could beat... Oh, no, here's who we should beat. We should beat Phoenix. We should beat Charlotte. We should beat probably the Jazz at least once. We should beat New York. We should beat the Hawks. We should beat the Suns again. We should beat the Wizards. We should beat the Bulls. There's plenty of winnable games there. I'm not gonna give you guys a record. I gotta still think about and kind of think in my head what kind of record I want to give this team. But either way, that is a very winnable schedule for us in the beginning. So let's go to the end here, or let's go to the second quarter. Houston, Rockets, Thunder, Knicks, Warriors, Hornets, Pacers, Grizzlies, Rockets, Timberwolves, Suns, Nuggets, Clippers, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Warriors, Suns, Bucks, Magic, Mavericks. Once again, a bunch of winnable games there. The Thunder, the Knicks, the Hornets, the Pacers, the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves, the Suns again, the Grizzlies, New Orleans, who knows how they'll be playing, the Suns again, the Magic, and then the Mavericks. So that's the first half of the season right there. A ton of winnable games. We should play very, 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 very well in the beginning of the season. Now, no national TV games. Second half of the season. Let's get into that. The first quarter of the second half. We're 3 quarters in now. The Jazz, the Heat, the Pistons, the Bulls, the Timberwolves, the Thunder. If that's not a 6-game winning streak, except for maybe the Jazz, 5-game winning streak, I don't know what is. I mean, obviously the Heat have Kevin Love, Jimmy Butler. The Heat should trade for Kevin Love, by the way. I don't know why they're not. They should, but that's totally off topic. Jazz, Heat, Pistons, Bulls, Timberwolves, Thunder. That should be a pretty, and that is January 20th. So they'll be right before the trade deadline. They might have some tired legs, not trade deadline, All-Star weekend, by the month before All-Star break. But still, those are all beatable teams. But here's where things start to get a little hairy. The Clippers, the Lakers, the Timberwolves, the Heat, the Spurs, the Bucks, the Mavericks, the Grizzlies, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Thunder, the Grizzlies, the Pistons, the Wizards, Sixers, Trailblazers. Now, there's some harder teams there. Clippers, Lakers. We play the Bucks for, I believe, the second time. Clippers, Warriors, Sixers, the Trailblazers. Those are some hard teams to win against. But there's also the Pistons again. There's, who knows how the Raptors will be playing. Those could be winnable games too, considering that they don't have Kawhi. Honestly, 3 quarters through, this schedule looks pretty good. This schedule is wow, this is easy. It feels easy just looking at it. Now, let's go to the last half. And I don't remember where I stopped. Okay, here I stopped the Trailblazers, I believe. Raptors, Pelicans, Nets, Mavericks. Okay, get ready for it. Here's the last half here, the very end. The Rockets, the Magic, the Pelicans, the Cavaliers, the Hawks, the Pacers, Spurs. And this is where it gets crazy. Spurs, Clippers, Lakers, Cavs, Spurs, Timberwolves, Nuggets, Lakers, Golden State. Last 10 games. Let me say that again. Pacers, Spurs, Clippers, Lakers. All 4 very tough games. We got should be easy game against the Cavs. And then Spurs, Timberwolves, Nuggets, Lakers, Golden State. And may I remind you, this is going to be at the very end of the season when they're going to be probably fighting, scratching, and clawing for a playoff spot. And we got to play the Lakers, the Clippers, the Lakers, like the Spurs, the Warriors. That's going to be brutal towards the end of the year. Like, that's going to be real brutal. And the only ESPN game is March 11th. March 11th against the Pelicans, by the way. ESPN, that's the only national televised game. But yeah, that's going to be an absolutely brutal schedule towards the end there. And it's going to be rough for this team. Overall, hopefully they can win enough games throughout the season that if they go 500 the last 20 games, they won't be like falling behind like 12th seed. You know what I mean? Hopefully they can play really well, take advantage of that soft schedule in the beginning of the year, and it will kind of make up for how hard the schedule is going to be at the end. Now, I don't know necessarily if that could be possible, because that's going to be a really tough schedule towards the end there, and I don't know if it's even going to matter if they play really well in the beginning. But hopefully, they can take advantage of it, because that's the one thing with the Kings last year is they would get beat by bad teams and they would lose to good teams. Let me take that back. They get beat by bad teams and then they beat good teams. And it's like, well, if you would have played that way against the Suns last night, you wouldn't have lost by 25. And they'd be very inconsistent, especially in crunch time. They would make dumb mistakes, and they lost. It feels like they lost every game by 1 to 5 points. I think they might have had the most close games in the league out of anybody, and they could have easily made playoffs this year had they won 10 more games. And that sounds like it's not very easy, but they had a lot of games they could have won, and they cannot afford this year to lose dumb games. They can't. They have to win every single game that they should win. They can't afford to make any blunders, and there's going to be some here and there, but they're going to have to be really good, and they're going to have to weather the storm when it comes to, if you look at that last half of the roster, let's look at it in terms of who you're playing. So we'll start at Houston. You got James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Magic, skip them, the Pelicans, Lonzo, Ingram, Zion, Drew Holiday. Cleveland, that's pretty much skip that. Atlanta Hawks. You got Trae Young, John Collins. That's a good team. Pacers, Victor Oladipo, Miles Turner, Sabonis. That's a really good team as well. Spurs, obviously, you got DeRozan, LaMarcus Aldridge, who aren't the most impressive. You got Rudy Gay on that team. That's a winnable game. But still, the Popovich system is always something you got to be careful with. And then you got Clippers, obviously Paul George and Kawhi. Lakers, LeBron and Anthony Davis. Cavs, skip that. Spurs, Popovich system. Timberwolves, Karl Anthony Towns. Maybe the Timberwolves will be good if our boy Andrew Wiggins shows up, which he's not my boy, but he was linked to Kings rumors for so long. I'm not sure anymore. And then Nuggets, obviously, you know who they have on their team. Jamal Murray, Jokic, who I can't stand, by the way. Paul Millsap, Gary Harris. And then Lakers again, LeBron and AD. And then the Warriors, Steph, D'Angelo Russell, Klay Thompson will probably be back at that point. Draymond, Willie Cauley-Stein. That's a crazy team. So, yeah, guys, I don't know. It's going to be a fight every single night that last 3, 4, 5 weeks of the season. And we'll see what happens. But, I do have one more thing I wanted to talk about. And I actually meant to talk about this when we were talking about DeAaron Fox on the Team USA on the Team USA topic. Actually, it was two things. I did have one more about the schedule. We got a tweet from Harry Giles, and he says, "Ooh, they done woke up Sacramento again. The city fired up, and Jizzle is too. I love it. Let's show them some more. Hashtag Sacramento proud. Hashtag don't sleep on my city." That is in response to the schedule being trash, and they're not getting any national coverage, national TV coverage. So Harry Giles is feeling it, and these guys are about to tear it up next year. And our final topic before I let you guys go, because I don't want to keep this all day. I have been rambling to myself, and half the stuff I've been saying hasn't been making sense. De'Aaron Fox apparently This was tweeted yesterday by Sean Cunningham at 8:37 p.m. He says, USA basketball camp in LA just wrapped up. Kings point guard DeAaron Fox assessed his performance in the scrimmage last Friday in Vegas as okay. He said Greg Popovich was on him a bit for passing up some shots. This is the best thing I think I might have heard all offseason. Rico Hines, obviously, is going to be a god for our team. And we've seen all the videos of Buddy Hield working out. But the thing is, DeAaron Fox, to me, last season was far too passive the last half of the year. It's almost like he was trying really hard to score, and Jaeger was like, don't try to score, just try to drive to the basket and draw fouls and score free throws, or shoot free throws and score your points that way. Don't try to shoot. Don't shoot the three, because it was like he didn't want to shoot the ball. He just wanted to drive to the basket. Maybe he had a few games where he felt like he shot bad and he just lost confidence, and maybe it had nothing to do with Jaeger, but it felt like somebody told him to play different. When I just watching the game, to me it felt like somebody told DeAaron Fox to play differently. And if that's the case, it's a shame, because DeAaron Fox could have averaged a lot more points last year. But the fact that Greg Popovich called him out for being too passive means that Popovich obviously thinks the same thing. And obviously maybe it's not a Dave Jaeger problem if he's still doing it. Or maybe it's something that Jaeger instilled in him that he needs to get rid of. But either way, DeAaron Fox being told by Greg Popovich to not pass up shots is a godsend for us. Obviously, Greg Popovich isn't our coach. He's the Spurs coach. But everybody respects Popovich's opinion on basketball. And, the fact that Popovich sees that tells me that he sees how good Fox could be if he was more aggressive scoring-wise, specifically actually shooting the ball, which is something Fox doesn't have a bad jump shot. I've always said that. He doesn't have the kind of jump shot like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist where it's like that, or like Lonzo where it's all weird. He has a good shot. He just, sometimes he lacks confidence. Sometimes he doesn't want to pull up from three, but he's done it plenty of times and hit it. So yeah, I think that's a very positive sign that Popovich told DeAaron Fox, you need to start shooting more, stop being such a wimp, be more aggressive. And I think that's going to go a long way to help us winning games next year. If DeAaron Fox averages like 23 points per game, oh my God, dude, it'll be amazing. It's going to be crazy. But who knows what's going to happen. But I am excited to see DeAaron Fox's game, take that next step, which I'm sure that's not like I'm saying something groundbreaking. Everybody wants to see DeAaron Fox take the next step. But him being more aggressive as a scorer is definitely what needs to happen, because he can pass the ball. He can play make. He has no problem doing that. It's the scoring, the shooting is what's missing. And as soon as he gets that, and as soon as he can shoot free throws better, it's going to unlock so much stuff for this team. It's going to be crazy. But with that being said, guys, don't want to keep you here too long, since my boy Skip isn't here to break up the monotony of my ranting. You may be ready for a nap, maybe a cigarette and a Gatorade at this point, or anything that can, help you refuel after my nonsensical ramblings for probably about 40 minutes. Yep, almost 40 minutes. So, that's it, guys. End of the show. Like I said, make sure you guys follow all of our social media down below. So obviously, subscribe to the channel. You can follow us on Podbean. Obviously, subscribe to our iTunes feed. Google Play, you can also find us there. Subscribe to our Twitch. Follow our Twitch. And Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. At SkipandTosh, at Tap2K, and at the Sactown Breakdown. SACTWN BREAKDWN. There was not enough characters for the O's, so I had to get rid of those. Oh my God, that's the third time that I had straight bars in this podcast. I'm not even trying. Wow, amazing. Anyways, join our Discord. Link in the description. If you guys want to talk hoops, we have an NBA Discord, Kings Discord, and a 2K Discord. And yeah, guys, that's the podcast. So for Skip, I am Tap2K, Tyler, whatever you want to call me. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's greatly appreciated. And I'll talk to you guys in the next podcast. Thank you guys. I love you.